The rain had turned the whole parking lot into a sheet of silver, the drops falling so hard they stung the skin. Daniel Reeves tightened his jacket as he jogged toward his old truck, holding a grocery bag under his arm. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, skipped beside him, humming softly even as the storm grew louder. "Daddy, hurry, my socks are getting wet," she squealed, laughing. Daniel laughed with her. Even in the rain, even in the hardest days of being a single father, Lily brought light to everything. They reached the truck. He unlocked the door, lifted her in, tossed the groceries into the passenger seat, and was about to climb in when he heard it. A sound so soft he almost mistook it for wind. A whimper. Then another. A cry, weak, muffled, desperate. Daniel turned. The lot was mostly empty except for a few cars, the glow of the street lamp, and a row of shopping carts blowing in the wind. The sound came again. "Daddy," Lily whispered, "who's crying?" Daniel stepped away from the truck, scanning the shadows. The rain hit his face, cold and heavy. He walked slowly, following the faint sound until he reached the edge of the lot. And there, half hidden behind 2 abandoned shopping carts, sat a girl. A girl no older than 16. Drenched, shivering, alone, and sitting in a battered, rusted wheelchair. Her long hair stuck to her face, her clothes soaked through, and her hands trembled violently as she tried to shield herself from the rain. A small backpack lay at her feet, falling apart. She looked up when she heard footsteps, fear flashing in her wide, exhausted eyes. And then Daniel noticed something else. Her wheelchair wasn't just old. It was broken. One wheel bent inward, one handle missing. She couldn't even roll it properly. She had been sitting there in the storm, helpless. Daniel's heart dropped. Hey, sweetheart," he said softly, crouching down. "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" The girl flinched, hugging herself. Please don't take me back," she whispered. Her voice cracked like she hadn't spoken in hours. "I won't go back, I won't." Daniel froze. "Go back? To who? To what?" Lily climbed out of the truck, rain hitting her tiny pink raincoat. "Daddy, why is she crying?" The girl saw Lily and instantly broke, tears mixing with the rain. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just didn't know where else to go." Daniel removed his jacket and gently wrapped it around her shoulders. She gasped from the warmth. "What's your name?" he asked. "Ava," she whispered. "Ava, can you tell me what happened? Who left you here?" She shook her head violently. "I can't, they'll come for me, they always come for me." Daniel felt something twist in his gut, fear, anger, protectiveness. He lifted his hand slowly so she could see he meant no harm. "Listen to me," he said softly. "No one's taking you anywhere, not while I'm here." Ava stared at him like she didn't believe him. Maybe no one had protected her before. He gently lifted her from the freezing metal chair. She weighed almost nothing, far too thin for her age. As he carried her toward the truck, she clung to his shirt, shaking uncontrollably. Lily opened the back door. "Daddy, she can sit with me. I'll hold her hand." Inside the warm truck, Daniel turned the heater on full. Ava's lips were blue, her fingers stiff. Lily took a blanket from the backseat and wrapped it around her. "Daddy," Lily whispered, "she's freezing." "I know," he murmured, touching Ava's forehead. She was burning with fever. He had no choice. He pulled out his phone. "Ava, I'm calling an ambulance." "No," she screamed, startling both him and Lily. "No hospitals, please." Daniel froze. "Sweetheart, you're sick, you need help." She shook her head, tears streaming. "Hospitals call CPS. They'll take me to a home again. They'll hurt me. They always do. Please, no hospitals." Daniel slowly lowered the phone. This wasn't just a sick girl. This was a girl who had run from something. Or someone. "Okay," he whispered. "No hospitals, I promise." Ava's breath shook with relief as she slumped against the seat. But then she whispered something that made Daniel go cold. "They left me here because they said I'm useless now," she said in a trembling voice. "Because the chair doesn't work and I slow them down." Lily gasped, Daniel's hands clenched around the steering wheel. Who would abandon a disabled girl in the rain? Who would leave her to die? He drove them home, glancing back often to make sure Ava was still conscious. By the time they reached Daniel's small house, she had fallen asleep against Lily's shoulder. He carried her inside, her head resting against his chest like she had been waiting for a safe place her entire life. He laid her gently on the couch, covered her with blankets and started warm soup on the stove. Meanwhile, Lily sat beside Ava, brushing wet hair away from her face. "Daddy," Lily said softly, "can she stay with us?" Daniel didn't answer, because deep down he already had. Hours passed before Ava stirred awake. She looked around the cozy living room, the fire crackling, the air warm and safe. She saw Lily curled beside her. She saw Daniel sitting nearby, watching her with gentle eyes. Why are you helping me?" she whispered. Daniel leaned forward. "Because no one should be left alone like that, not in the rain, not ever." Ava swallowed, her eyes welling again. "You don't even know me." Daniel shook his head slowly. "I don't need to know you to care." Silence fell. Then Ava whispered, barely audible, "He's going to come for me." Daniel's pulse quickened. "Who?" "My stepfather," she said, voice trembling. "He said if I ever slowed him down again, he'd get rid of me. Tonight he said he was done with me. He drove me to that parking lot and told me to figure out how to survive without being a burden. And then he left." Daniel felt his entire body go rigid. Lily covered her mouth in horror. "That's awful, Daddy, that's so awful." Ava nodded weakly. "And my mom didn't stop him," she whispered. "She said he was right, that I cost too much, that I ruined everything." Daniel felt a rage, so deep it made his vision swim. A girl abandoned, discarded, left to die because she couldn't walk. He leaned toward her. "Ava, look at me." She lifted her tired eyes. "You're safe here. I don't care who he is. I don't care what he wants. He's not touching you again." Ava stared at him with disbelief, and then broke. She sobbed, a deep, heartbreaking sob that shook her weak body. Lily wrapped her arms around her, crying too, and Daniel felt something warm and painful expand in his chest. Something like love. Something like family. Later that night, after Ava fell asleep again, Daniel heard a car pull up outside. Slow. Creeping. Stopping in front of his house. He stepped to the window. His jaw tightened. A man was stepping out of a black truck. Drunk. Angry. Storming toward the house. Ava's stepfather. Daniel opened the door before the man could knock. Rain poured behind him, lightning flashing. "What the hell do you think you're doing with my kid?" the man growled. Daniel stepped outside, closing the door behind him. "She's a child, not property." "She's a burden," the man spat. "She knows it. That's why she's been dumped at 4 different homes." Daniel grabbed his collar and slammed him against the porch post, so hard the man gasped. "You left her to die," Daniel hissed. "A kid in a broken wheelchair in the rain. You think I'm letting you take her back?" The man snarled, "She's mine." "No," Daniel said, "she's not." Behind him, the door opened softly. Ava watched, tiny, fragile, afraid. But then she whispered something Daniel will never forget. "He's not my dad," she whispered. "You are." Daniel froze. Her stepfather froze. The storm froze. Tears filled Daniel's eyes. He didn't turn around. He just tightened his grip and said, "You heard her. Get off my property before I bury you." The man tried to fight back. Daniel didn't let him. 2 minutes later, the man was running to his truck, terrified, soaked, shouting threats he didn't have the courage to act on. Daniel locked the door. When he turned around, Ava was looking at him with the fear of someone who had never been allowed to hope. "Did you mean it," she whispered, "that I'm safe here?" Daniel knelt in front of her. "You're safe," he said, voice breaking. "For as long as you want to stay, for as long as you need." Ava leaned forward and hugged him. The frail, trembling girl who had been abandoned in the rain hugged him like he was the first human being who ever made her feel worthy of love. Lily hugged both of them. And in that small living room with the storm fatting outside, a new family formed. Not by blood, by choice, by love. The truth that stunned Daniel wasn't the cruelty she came from. It was the miracle she brought with her. He hadn't just saved a girl in a wheelchair. He had saved the daughter he never knew he was missing. And she had saved him right back.